Okay, hello Janish. Hope you are doing well. So now I am capturing my screen to show you how it works actually. So first of all, I just want to let you know one thing that we have misunderstood already. So which is for the no sleep functionality, you send me this file. So you see this. This is the file you sent to me. So I'm going to open this code in VS Code. Okay, so in here, this is the main functionality actually that keeps your screen on actually. So it has a dependency which is no sleep.min.js, and using this function it makes some issue. I have tested from a different device, and it does not work properly. So I made this file change, and then wait, so I can show you that file. So okay, this is the file that I have made changes. Okay, so this is the actual function that works perfectly for all of the devices. So there is no issue for no sleep functionality for other devices. Okay, so I hope you understand now. And now if you see the folder structure in here, so I can show you again that you send me. You see this folder contains only HTML and CSS file. So there is no framework in for a C# or ASP.NET. Okay, so this is the only HTML and CSS. So you can run this file from your local machine, or you can upload this file any Linux server. So you don't have to upload it any as your website. So now, so there is one more thing for the video app. So if I show you the video app in Visual Studio, so this is the actual code in Visual Studio. Is you see here is a lot of dependencies for this project, and you have to make this. You need to click on this here, and it will open a local server, and then you can see your you can check all of the things. But you see there is a default.html and dashboard.html and conversation in.html. If you want, you can run this HTML file from your local directory, but it will not work properly. You need server, and it's a C# project. You see there is a C# file, so you must have to run it from a server. So hope this makes sense to you. So in the same way, I sent you the Netty app as a HTML and CSS file, but you can run that HTML and CSS file from your local machine. But when you upload that on your server in ASP.NET framework, you see this is the actual file in your deployed in your server. So here you see the test.aspx, which is ASP.NET file, also web config and global ASAX. So this is the ASP.NET file. So in views folder, you cannot get direct access on this views folder. So you must have to configure the routes or path to access this folder. So this is why it shows the error and you cannot access this folder directly. So if I go to this folder, and you will see all of the files in here, but you cannot access it. Of course you cannot access this file. So I changes this index HTML file, and your original index file is here. So it will not work actually. So I made this new index HTML file here to change the path, and I assigned the path to a client folder I create it now, and I uploaded all of the files in this folder. So now if you noticed, you will see that your root directory has changed, and you can access your website from your website URL and the client, and then the actual path. You notice that there is no view directory, so I changed that path. So in earlier, it was something like, so this is the original HTML file, and if I open it in code editor, so you see in here, it was, if there is no access token, so it will redirect to the views and then login HTML. So I told you already, you cannot direct access in views folder, so it's restricted. You need to change it from the backend in ASP framework, then you can access it. But I created the new client folder, and I put all of the files in the client folder, as you see in here. So this files is now contains the client folder. So in here, and now I made the changes the HTML index HTML file. Actually, wait, and you see, I made changes the path actually, and I replaced the views to client. So now the path URL accessing the client folder and all of the files. So this is how it works now. So but this is not a actual solution. You must contact with your backend guy who are working with this API, who build the API and configured the routes. So maybe he will change the routes, and he can give make the access for the views path, and he can check all of the things, and he can make this solution. I hope you understand, and I also cleared the previous things that you misunderstand. I mean this, when you send the no sleep file, actually it's contain the HTML and CSS, and I made changes this, and I included this file with the C# project. This is why I mean that the client folder that you send me, and the video app which is this C# project is not same. I meant actually. So I merge all of the functionality in here, and if you notice in here, so you can also see the uh, some dependencies, like you see the no sleep CSS and the scripts for no sleep min.js. So I merged this file in this project, so it's different from the client folder that you sent me. I mean this actually. So you actually you get me wrong. So this is why we have some conversation issue, and I know my English is not perfect, so I'm not a native English speaker. So I hope you will uh, actually pardon me for my English language. Okay, so I hope you understand now, and you understand the path I changed, and I make another folder for client, and I put all of the files in client folder. Now when you are accessing this index.html file, and this file contains the path for the client, not the views, because you cannot access this views folder. It's restricted according to the ASP.NET frameworks. So you have to you can access the client folder now. So I just did that, and it's run fine. But you need to fix this from your backend guy. I don't believe this is the right way. Actually, it's unsecure. Okay, so hope this makes sense to you, and thank you for your help.